All right, peace. Um, just give it time to figure out what's going on and make sure I can see what I can hear. Just give it time to figure out what's going on and make sure I can see what I can hear. Okay, so this is kind of like a year-end review. I'll probably doing a lot of rambling, um, talking about a lot of stuff that went on this year, state of Pan-Africanism, and so forth. If it's anything that I might forget, I'm gonna try. I got a couple of little notes that I'm gonna be looking at too. So, kind of just want to let this kind of get everything going before I go in as far as like my little things that I want to talk about. But like I was saying, um, been an interesting year to say the least. You know, yeah, it looked like somebody in the chat or somebody saying, "Hey." I don't see that up there, but yeah, not necessarily just wanted to. It's been a while since I've been online, so wanted to come on and try to have a year-end review as far as like what I've been dealing with. Hey, Kamani, I see this on the chat right here, but I don't see it popping up on the actual screen. So how you doing, Kamani? I see you in the chat. But yeah, it's like a year in review as far as like what I've been what I've been observing, and as far as the Pan African community dealing with a lot of issues. Like I think we really connected on a global scale from here to Africa, as far as Pan Africanism, and I think it's a great thing. I think that we have a queen that's come on the scene that I think is a good queen that has really been pushing the narrative as far as real Pan-Africanism here on the continent, or specifically America. So she's really got me inspired because it's really been a lackluster experience, I gotta say, for the last 3 or 4 years with dealing with Pan-Africanism in America. There's no real leadership here. I think we've lost our way as far as actually having an agenda as far as what we really want as Pan Africans here in America. I think that the Queen, and I don't want to butcher her name. Her name is Dr. Arikana Chihombori Quao. She was the head of the African Union. She was recently dismissed, and she's a really powerful queen. So I think that anybody it's really a shame that many of us don't even know that this sister is doing what she's doing as far as the diaspora right now. A lot of our people don't even know that this sister even exists. And I take that as a great challenge for myself to try to get the word out about this queen as far as about what she's doing to try to unify us as back with the continent. And there's some questions that we need to ask as diaspora Africans to have some insurances as well that I've thought about personally myself. But what she's doing with them, I don't know. She's not actually a part of the African Union anymore, but we've adopted her as our leader, irregardless of what the African Union has mandated down that she's no longer a part of the African Union. We've championed her as the leader for what real change looks like here in the diaspora with the relationship that we want to have with the continent. I think she's starting up a banking system, and it's a lot more that I want to try to bring to try to get people to start getting so we can unify, because a lot of the things that I've noticed from me just sitting back and really want to have something to say of substance before I do get on here is that it's a lot of fragmentation that's going on with us, and I think that's just a part of nature. The fragmentation. What I mean is by division. Like we'll start something, and then we'll divide into so many subgroups after we've started something that's supposed to have the same agenda, like Pan-Africanism. Now we got a lot of different fragments or people that's supposed to be in the conscious community, and I think we need to really, simplify what it is to be conscious. What is the conscious community? There's a lot of confusion with that. And I think we really need to go ahead and put a hardline stance and a clear understanding of what it is to be conscious. I think conscious is, in a simplistic way, is to acknowledge all history, starting from as back as far as we can go, and then move from that point forward. Not negating anyone's history or any history that comes after that, but the only history that we're arguing about is what's written. And we're going to have to come to some kind of agreement to consolidate around something singular. We can't do the plural thing because that's having us divided. History is something that we could look at, but it's a lot of people that don't want to deal with actual true history. So we're going to have to come up with some kind of way, because when you're looking at what the Queen is doing, what Julius Malema is doing in South Africa, and what Prola Lumumba is doing from Kenya, and as well as a lot of other good leaders on the continent have shown up. It's a real great renaissance going on in Africa as far as by trying to push Pan-Africanism for real, not just in symbolism, like we've been dealing with from that first phase from the late 50s and 60s with Kwame Nkrumah. I think a lot of the ideas that he had, we're really trying to see coming to fruition, like breaking away from France with the Francophone dollars. We're trying to really actually make that come into existence here. I think in 2020, they're saying that they're going to come up with the ECOWA. I think that's the name of the term for the currency that they're going to be using in West Africa to try to get rid of the French currency that they're currently using, the Francophone currency. So it's a lot of things happening. When you disparaged about what's going on here in America as far as consciousness, you got to look globally to see real Pan-Africanism in action. And it's actually going down, family. I'm thinking, and I'm pretty sure that it's a lot of stuff that's going on, and we're connected. Like, that's another thing I want to talk about. We're globally connected right now, and we're able to communicate on a global scale. And while this window of opportunity is open, we need to make sure that we're simplifying stuff, unifying stuff, and getting rid of the fragmentation that we all seem to, from here to West Africa, to South Africa, to North Africa, not really north, but because we know that's controlled by Muslims, but as far north as we can go as far as sub-Saharan African, we need to get our house in order, dealing with our history and our culture. So that's what's got me really excited. I mean, I'm really excited about what's going on actually on the continent. But now I feel like it's our turn, or someone's turn, to get us in order here on the continent. Like I said, the Queen mother, Dr. Arikana Chihombori Quao, that's who I'm looking for right here on the continent. To deal, we're gonna let her lead the way and try to put our input in as far as what we can do as well. And she's open to that. I hate that I missed her when she came to Dallas last weekend. Had no idea that she was in town, but I would have loved to have been able to get a chance to meet that great queen, because she's the only person that I see here on the right here in America that's really pushing a serious Pan-African agenda right now. I mean, she's fearless. So I'll probably be retitling this. I haven't really gotten all of that down yet, but I wanted to come on here, kind of like a year-end review, If anything, if it was something that we could, yeah, that's right, Queen. We need to go home. But there's going to be some stipulations, and some things we're going to have to work out with the currency. Like, we got to have an understanding that based on us being here in America, that's what makes us the most valuable Africans on the planet. That's the only thing. Genetically, we're all kind of like the same. Maybe some of us may have a little admixture, but genetically, we're all the same. But the currency that we're able to have access to, which is the dollar, which is a strong currency, gives us a it makes us like a super African in a sense. And if we can gain trust and have a real agenda with the continental African to make sure that if we were to really seriously start putting a dollar amount to send back home, you know, because we don't really know what home is, so that's a problem for us too. We don't really know what home is, but we do know that that's our home. And if we could weaponize this dollar to send it back to Africa to build it up so that we can return, I think that, and that's what the Queen is on, but we don't know to what degree and how is that going to benefit or work for each individual African. Because like I have limited resources and many of us do, but for the greater cause, I think that with the plan that they have going on so far, I think that's the best thing that I've heard so far. And it's I mean, it's really serious. So I hope that everyone, I'm gonna leave a link to a couple of videos in the description of the Queen and some of her videos and maybe in her name. And I want everybody that's really serious about Pan-Africanism to look into that sister, because I think that's gonna be, you know, we have a lot of people that have come and disappointed, but I really have a good energy about this Queen as far as her sincerity, as far as our unification, our global unification as a nation of African people. Okay, so that was really what I wanted to get out of here. I seen a couple of disturbing things as far as a couple of platforms that we all frequent. Sinetta's platform, with Minister Inky. Yeah, I will, Queen. But Minister Inky and Sinetta and them going back and forth at it. So like I said, it's some of us have outgrown certain things, and it's certain things that they need to grow as far as the platforms, as far as if they're going to be a news network, and particularly Sinetta. His channel is a beautiful channel, and it's for some of us our beginnings, not for me personally, but the brother has to start focusing more on news content from a global perspective. I think that is the next progression that Brother Sinetta, and I'm not saying this to be negative towards the brother, but I see where he's not progressing as a news channel. Debating is kind of ran its course, so to speak, for some of us. And some of the things that he's debating does not even necessarily need to be debated. It's a lot of things that we are dealing with currently, history that we need to be making, and it's a lot of people out here making history. And if he's the news source for a lot of people, he should be championing the people that are actually doing work, not just here in America, or the people that he wants to put on and make monetization dollars off of. He needs to bring up make people aware of the Julius Malimas and what's going on in South Africa. I'm not sure if he's aware of the struggle that's going on in South Africa, but I don't know if he needs to get a team. He has money to maybe get some people to start doing research of that and that type of area, so that we can globally connect, because it's a global unification going on right now, and I can see it. We're communicating on a global scale. Now, even from my Facebook page, I see and I communicate with people all over the globe, from West Africa to South Africa, South America, Cuba, I'm not really sure. Cuba, I hadn't really seen, but Puerto Rico, wherever our people are, we're communicating. London, I've shipped almost all over the world, so I know that we're communicating, but we're not focused on the things that we need to be focused on. As we need leadership, and every species needs somebody that's really serious and sincere about getting us to the next level of getting us back to where we need to be. Because if you look at other cultures, without demonizing other cultures, you can learn from them. And a culture that I've seen come from third place to second place is the Hispanic culture. These people have done a magnificent job of not paying attention and not listening to the European in regards to procreation, education, or anything. They don't seem to be fazed by anything that these people are doing. They're procreating, they're out procreating them to the extent to where now we're no longer actually a threat. It seems like we're not the focus of America right now. The focus is actually on the Hispanic population, because when we go and look into our neighborhoods, it's not the strong population that we once had, and we all know that. And which partially that's our fault, but it was a major attack that they on all fronts that they had, and they've been having on us from since I've gotten here. So, and now at 50, it gives you an opportunity to sit back and reflect on what you've seen and what you witnessed. And a lot of our youth don't give us a chance to try to help them correct what we see where we might have made a mistake. There's no respect for the elder population. So, that's something that we're gonna have to fix. We're gonna have to get some kind of structure within our own culture. Like if they say the homosexuality is okay, then we don't necessarily have to agree with that, even though we do live in America. We have to be able to make up our own standards and our own sets of rules. And I'm watching in Africa where they're having the same conversation. So I know that we connected. I mean, they're talking about African spirituality, getting rid of the Western and Arab religions. So, and they're talking about it from as if they've gotten it from African Americans. So we got great influence, and we got a lot of things that we need to be making sure that we conduct ourselves on a global scale in a respectable manner. So a lot of the stuff that I see on these platforms with arguing, we can't do that because we have a bigger thing and we have a global connection that we need to make sure that we are on pretty much on point about. So I hope that's not anything that's negative about what I'm saying about Sarnetta, but he definitely needs to look at other avenues to try to help our people gain a global connection, because there's no way I don't even think he's spoken about the Queen. Arikana Chihombori Quao. He hadn't even spoken about her yet. And hopefully this will get him on point to where he can start bringing these type of, and in her agenda and what she's doing. He should be the first one to mention her. He should be the first one to mention Plo Lumumba and what's going on the continent. And we need leadership like that here, and that's what she's representing for us. So I don't want to be long-winded, but like I said, that was something that's really important. I'm trying to figure out how can I incorporate myself into what they have going on, being as though I don't have basically the finances to maybe invest in what the goal is that they have going on, because I think they're starting a bank. They're starting a banking system, and they're starting to try to build some small cities so that we can start repatriating back. But the things that she's saying, I employ anybody to go and check her out. She's on YouTube. And like I said, I definitely will be leaving the link, Sis Kamani. I'm going to be leaving a link to that. If anything that I might miss, it's just so much that I could talk about. As far as the year, this is our 8th year in as a brand. It's our 8th year. Let me see if I can. I wonder if I can leave that link now. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. Cause I got a couple of. Here's the link. Maybe I'll leave this link right here. And I think this was a good one right here that I was just watching. So hold on a second. Let me see if I can leave this in the chat. And then of course I'll leave another link. Another link to one of her videos. And let me put her name up in this chat too as well. Hold on a second. Now this is the one that I missed. This is the one that I missed. It was in Dallas. I really hate that I missed that one. So those are 2 links right there, Kamani. You can check out so you can get a vibe for how the sister and what she's actually talking about. I think she's the most positive thing that I can take out of this year. As far as real Pan-Africanism, and I think that she, with her leadership and real serious people like myself and a couple other people that I'm trying to get on board with, trying to see what we can do to try to connect with the Queen. I know another sister that I got a line that's actually already connected with her, so I'm gonna see if I can hook up with her and get a line as far as a direct line to the Queen. And see what we can come up with as far as like maybe I can start using some of the proceeds from the apparel or whatever we can do to try to help. Some proceeds from the flag or whatever we can do to try to help push this over the edge. Because we definitely need to make sure that we support that movement. And I'm not sure. She said that they would be announcing more. I think she said this coming year, I think February, they'll be announcing everything. So y'all stay tuned, and I probably will come back later when I get some actually real topics that I want to discuss for 2019. Like I said, for me, I've been just sitting back looking at what's going on in America as far as our Pan-African movement, and it's just not. She's the only example I've seen of real Pan-Africanism. It's so refreshing, and it's sad at the same time that it's the Queen. Now, I don't really want to say it's sad because that sounds messed up, but might be when y'all watch the lectures that she's doing, she's gonna. I'm telling you. Just let me just end this one because I want y'all to just be able to check it out. And I'll get back with y'all and I'll make sure I do another video soon. Peace.